701 Nation, episode 33. If I'm jumping on a little early here, I'm skipping the intro music so I don't have to edit that out at the end of the show. So we're just gonna jump right into it. Clay's supposed to be on tonight. We're supposed to be alternating shows every other Wednesday. Clay's son's having a little medical stuff going on, so had some tests done. And I don't believe it's anything serious, but serious enough and concerning enough that Clayton didn't want to do the show, which is fine. I'm perfectly fine doing the show for Clay tonight. Clay will be back not next week. When the heck is he coming back? I think the 22nd is Clay's next scheduled show. Next week, I'm going to have on episode 34, Ariel Dietrich from Shadow ID up in Watford City. She's a female firearms instructor, trainer, former law enforcement officer, so she's going to be on. But I'll tell you what, tonight, what we got going tonight, see a couple people jumped on here watching. Respecting Clay, like I just said, Clay's got his son has some medical stuff going on, so he's not on. I'm going to be on episode 33, 701 Nation, JD. We got 12 unethical shots that you shouldn't take on a deer. That should be fun going over. Got that going right here. That's going to be a good one. And then we got a roundup. I think I got 5 different firearm lubes and gun oils. We're going to go over those, like some all-purpose ones. And Barnes Ammunition, they got a new deer hunting ammo out now. They partnered up with Sierra. I think there's 9 different rounds of that. I'll let you know what those are, what the costs are. Barnes is some good stuff, but they kind of went with a little different bullet. Barnes, as you know, is a all copper, but they kind of teamed up with Sierra here to do something, which you'll find out. And then, of course, the happy ending chronicle, and this one is truly a happy ending, which I'm going to enjoy. I'm going to enjoy giving you guys that one. And like I said, Clay will be back on the 22nd, and at the end of the month here, the 29th, I think it is. Is it the 29th? As I'm doing the next one after that. Yeah, the 29th. I got Scott Bachmeyer's coming on with me, and Jeb Williams, North Dakota Game and Fish Director. Jeb's going to be with us the first half hour. He's going to be talking about deer numbers, deer tags, stuff, basically deer numbers and the deer tags. We're going to do that. And then after Jeb takes off, he's got to go. Scott and I are just doing straight because deer hunting starts a week and a half after that, following Friday. We're going to be talking deer rifles, deer ammo. What's your best deer ammo? What's your best deer rifle? What you think? I actually got an old magazine here from like 1982, and it's got an article in there about the best like Midwest muley deer rifles. We're going to bust that out, and your best. What you think the best deer knife is? Your gut knife, your skinning knife. What you going to do with your deer meat? Something like that should be pretty fun. What's up, Josh? Hey, Eric Newman. Good evening, buddy. Everybody's starting to get on. I jumped on 3 minutes early, guys. I'm just telling everybody I'm just skipping the whole intro music thing and all that because, hey, Justin, good evening. Thanks for tuning in. I got to edit it out. I'm not quite down with editing out the first part of the thing. I did that last week. Had a big after the show. Took a while to get everything up. And edit it up, and I just finally said screw it and just put it on there with that first 3-minute countdown. We're going to skip that. We're going right to it. Josh Patterson said the boys out grinding after school with his bow. We found a honey hole of deer, no shooters yet. Awesome, man. Awesome. Some people are showing me some amazing deer that are still on the hoof and not dead. Good evening, Brian Warner, my fellow MVE out there, Dickinson, North Dakota. Love seeing that every week. I'm not going to do a whole lot of slow. Good evening, One Shot Cap. Good evening, 701 Nation. Appreciate you guys jumping on, getting a good crowd going. Guys, I'm not going to do a big social media thing here because it's just me running. I'm going to share just a couple things. And if you're listening on the podcast, I do apologize for that. But I'm going to do just a little bit of sharing, not like I normally do because, quite honestly, I'm not even sure that it really works that good when you share all these do this and tag this and tag that. I'm going to just say the hell with it. And I guess if somebody finds it, they find it. And if you're a regular viewer, appreciate that. I will say this. In the last month, I think we picked up like 117 or 127 new subs on Facebook. Appreciate that. 11C1P. Hello. What's up, buddy? Appreciate you getting on here. Good to see you back. I'm going to go on to X here. I'm going to share this. Oh, I will tell you guys this. So if you listened last week, I did the story about the Fiachi high performance SBR enhanced ammunition that gives you like this super velocity. It was in stock. I got some. I got the 308 stuff, and if you didn't catch it, supposed to be getting out of 11.5-inch 308 with 125 SSTs, 3250. That's out of 11.5. I got that, and I picked a box of that up, and it says SST, so it's Hornady SST. It's got a blue tip though. Normally, I think they're red. And I got also the 77 grain Sierras, the Match King bullets. They're going like 2750 out of 11-inch. So I think Axe has an SBR, and we're going to do it out of that, and we're going to test out of a 308 and the 223 out of the SBR, and then we're going to do it out of like a carbine out of the 16-inch, and then we'll go a little longer and see if the propellant's supposed to all burn out in these short barrels. So maybe you get diminishing returns with a barrel longer than 16. We shall see. Axe has the lab radar. We're gonna do that so we can test the velocity. So should be interesting. Hopefully it's accurate. As I said, I tested one of these super fast kick-ass 223 rounds, and it was fast. It was definitely lived up to the billing of the velocity, but the accuracy sucked. Hopefully this is. If it is, this 77 grainer, I'm fairly intrigued with that, because I would love to. I can kill a deer 200 with my AR 223 easy, but with a 77 grainer, if I'm going to be getting 2,800 feet with that 77 Match King, let's get it on, baby. Let's get it on. I'll do that. And I gave the prices, not a little more expensive than regular stuff, but nothing crazy. So. Let's see here. 11 C1P. Have you ever tried the NOS 3 ammo? Yeah, exactly. 11 C1P. That's what I was talking about. I did a test. Man, was it early this spring? I did it, and I did it out of a bolt action 24. I did it out of an 18-inch. It was a 16-inch bolt AR-15, and then like a 24-inch maybe bull barrel. I did the velocities on that with different guns and accuracy, and like I said, it was super fast. Probably up to, I would say, combat's down. I think what's military, like 2 or 3 MOA to 100 they want. This stuff and it was full metal jacket stuff I tested, so the accuracy wasn't, they do have different bullets. I never did try it again, but instead of switching rifles, you just got better ammo. It said better penetration and bullet. You kick out. It's fast. A lot of other guys are getting great accuracy. I did not, however, so, I'm willing to try it again with a different bullet, but I want to see how this stuff works. If you can get 3,200 out of 11-inch barrel 308 and then put a cannon, that's freaking money. Eric says this sounds bad when hey, somebody's got to give me. Speaking of that, saying, but hey, I apologize for the first part of the show. I didn't have my mic down. Usually my MVE Brian reminds me to put my mic down here. I didn't. Sorry guys. I apologize for that. But Eric says, when making summer sausage, how do you keep the sack from being wrinkly and having nice and tight like store-bought? Yeah, Eric, the best thing I got is find the dude who has the strongest freaking hands, and that's the guy who's got to run the sack. I've never had strong hands, and after all my wrist surgeries, I really don't now, but that's the best way to do it. And they got a thing you can clamp it. We never did buy one and do it, but I would definitely, if I make summer sausage again, do it. And then after you smoke it, put it in, you soak it in the cold water, take it out of the smoker and you soak it in cold water. I can't remember how long we did that, but, one kiss shot captures, get a bigger sausage, Eric. 11 C1P. It sucks that you can't reload the rifle cases. You also need special stuff just to reload the pistol or straight wall cases. Yeah. See, I thought you couldn't either. Now, somebody said in the comments, I had a couple people tell me when I posted that video I think on YouTube, they were saying you can. So I don't know. I can't remember. I haven't looked back on it. I have some of it in the other room, but I can't answer that for you right now. 11 C1P. I apologize. Dougie says, Eric, wrinkle cream. Put that on there. Eric says it was tight at the beginning, then got saggy. Yeah, maybe. We put ours in the water, man, and that somebody told me that's what keeps it from getting wrinkly. And that's what we did. We had a big thing of cold water, took it out of there. I'm sorry, I can't remember how long I want to say like an hour or two we put it in there. So 11 C1P. Remember, it's not the size of the sausage; it's the taste. Right. Hey, for sure. Guys, if I ever quit, if I forget to put this down, I'm tapping on my, if you're listening on the pod, put this mic down, remind me, because I get to blabbering, man, and I forget, and I start looking at other shit. So, all right, one more time, I'm going to go over what we got in the roster tonight, and then we're going to hit it. First up, 12 unethical shots you shouldn't take on a deer. 2, we got a firearms roundup of firearms lube and gun oil. I think there's 6 of them I got on there. Some of them I use, some I never have. Barnes has a new deer hunting ammo out in 9 different calibers. Looks like some good stuff. And then a happy ending chronicle. So looking forward to that. All right, heck with it. I went through all this stuff. We're going to get into it right now. We're going to get into the 12. This guy says, okay, this is from, when did I get this? I think it's Realtree. I got this from, actually. I get a lot of stuff from Realtree.com. They got a lot of good stuff. Heard me on the radio yesterday. I talked about the young guy from North Dakota was in there. Eric says, I drop it in ice water afterwards. Yeah, that's what I do. I'm not sure what's going on there, Eric. That's what we've done. And it's always, not that I've made a ton of summer sausage. I have not, but when I did, that usually worked. There was no wrinkles. And the guys I work with do that. And I mean, my dad does too. And I mean, it's some of the best summer sausage I've ever had homemade. But anyways, all right, let's get into this here. 12 unethical shots. I'm going to agree with some of these. I'm going to not agree with others. I'm sure you guys and gals are going to be the same. So let's get in. Of course, shot placement, right? To me, most important thing. I don't care what caliber you got, shot placement. You can have a 300 Win Mag. You gut shoot something a couple times, a big muley or something, even a white. I mean, they'll get away from you. I mean, it's happened. It's before, and it'll happen again. Put that sucker where it counts. Let's see. I'm missing a comment here. Where's this? The Mike 817 actually says, where's a good place to get your concealed carry in Nodak? I got mine through Shields. I talked about it a little bit on the radio yesterday. Concealed Coalition, I think it was called, through Shield. I bought a gun at Shields, and they kind of gave you a deal on the price doing it there. So Josh Patterson says, the Mike Personal Defense Center, they do the same. Yeah, the Personal Defense Center. What the heck's his name? It's right down there by the Midway Tavern. I can't forget his name. I apologize for that. Brian says, the Brian Warner, the sausage man. Brian and I, we had a couple sausage live streams. He says, tighter stuffing, plunge in cold water, then done. Little slower heat when finished. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Brian. That's what I said. Get a guy with just freaking claws for hands and have him run the stuffer. So also a hog ring works better than tying. Yep, that's what I was thinking. Ryan, that hog ring, you can snap it right on there. Eric says, thanks, Brian. 11 CUMP, the Mike 87. Actually, I got mine 30 plus years ago, so couldn't really say. I know the Personal Defense Center. Yeah, Nick Couture, that's who owns it. There you go, Josh. Nick, good guy. Nick's got suppressors there too, and everything else you need. In fact, that's where I went when I got my concealed. I went in there. They did the electronic fingerprints in my picture, and dude gave you an envelope, stamped it with where it had to go. It was awesome, and I think it was $30. So I'm not going to go back over all that, but it's I got a class 1 for 5 years. The cost of it ended up being like 160 or something. Kind of bullshit, really. You got to pay that much, but whatever. I did it, and I can go to Minnesota. When I go to Minnesota, I don't have to worry. Lynette says, don't mind. Doug Wolf says, Lynette doesn't mind the wrinkled sack. I mean, I don't remember my sack ever not being wrinkled. So, all right, let's get into it. I got 12 scenarios here. Not only that, not only going gunshots here with unethical stuff. This guy goes into bow shots too, which I like. Yeah, Nick, he's got an indoor range right there too. Yeah, and it's the same. It'll take you like 6-7 hours to do everything. You do the the practical or the book stuff, and then the practical thing. And I actually got a call tonight right before the show. My swag's going to be done. So next week when I'm on, I should have on the 701Nation shirt and a hat and probably can koozie. So, all right, number 1, let's hit it. Running shots, he says. This is here, and he's got a little short description out of each one here. And if you're just getting in, I mean, click in, man. We're going to probably be on for another hour and 10 minutes here. So, should be a fun show, man. I got some good stuff here. Hopefully we get a lot of comments going here. So anyway, running shots. This is the first one this gentleman here from Realtree says is unethical. He says, some people believe the running shot is an ethical one to take. I mean, at a short distance, I'm inside 100 yards, or I mean, I've shot him farther than that running for sure. He says, I don't think it's easy. It's not. It isn't easy. We've done the standing offhand challenge. Not easy. Much less running into deers. Freaking muleys are bouncing like a basketball player, and whitetails are hauling ass. So no matter how skilled of a marksman you are, too much can go wrong on a moving deer that could change direction at any second. Wounding a deer isn't worth it. So he says, is it ethical with a bow? No, obviously. I honestly, I don't think I've ever seen anybody. I know I have. I maybe on a show or something, a moving deer or not a running deer. I've never seen that with a bow, but actually I did. Like they were doing a deer charge and the guy just stuck it. It was like went like a foot by him and he just released it right into it. It was crazy. Ethical shot with a gun. He says no. I'm going to give that one. Depends on your skill and how good you are offhanding. You're probably not going to hit it in the kill zone. I mean, you might have to give it another one right away. Bolt action or I mean, AR be good for that one for sure. I mean, they make some automatics that aren't AR-15s too. So I mean, goddamn AR, you just sit there and keep pulling the trigger and you'll drop it. Doesn't work that way. Trust me. Okay, so next one here. Let's go number 2. Long shots. Long shots. This all depends on skill, weapon, and conditions. If you have the skill to take a longer, he's got it in quotes, longer shot. You know, longer is whatever you think your long shot is. But make sure you're up to the task. Your weapon is capable and the conditions are good. I would say, yeah, right, like low freaking wind. I don't give a shit what your dope tells you at freaking 700 if you got a deer standing there in a bunch of wind. Those things make the distinction on whether or not the shot you take is considered ethical or not. Yeah, this guy, so he's giving it a varies with the bow and he's giving it a varies on the gun. All right, I'll go along with that one. That makes sense to me. That makes sense to me. Real quick on the sausage here, Eric Newman says, I run the grinder and my wife handles the meat sack. And we tie. Maybe I need to get the clamp rings. Yeah, they're not. I don't think I don't think those hog ring clamps are. I think they're fairly reasonably priced too, Eric. So, you know, I'm glad to see we're getting the comments in from X. And hey, anybody tuning in on Rumble, appreciate you there. I'm sorry you can't comment on there. We can't see the numbers on Rumble either, which sucks. Facebook, we got her going in here, and YouTube. So appreciate everybody coming on there. And the website, I'm sorry we can't get comments in on the website either or see the numbers on there. I'll check the X numbers here after a bit. But all right, let's move on. Headshots. Headshots. This guy says, under no circumstance should you ever take a headshot on a deer with a gun or a bow. I know a few people who took them with bow and the arrow actually stuck in their head and didn't kill them. And they've seen the pictures. I would agree with that on the bow. I oftentimes hear people brag about how they headshot a deer and dropped it instantly. Well, sure, if you hit the brain and the deer is dead, no doubt. But you're aiming at a baseball-sized object, and that leaves a lot of room for error. Miss the brain, and the result is a wounded deer with a long road of pain and suffering. Yeah, I mean, I see his point there. Again, if it's windy or you don't have a solid shooting, I definitely wouldn't say, yeah, there's a deer at 100 yards taking an offhand shot at his head. No, I mean, you should be pretty proficient marksman with your rifle, and definitely have the right bullet. I mean, a ballistic tip might. I don't know. With a ballistic tip, I don't know that I'd take a headshot. I mean, maybe the bigger caliber, 243 up or something like that. But 223 with a ballistic tip, and I am a 223 pimp, probably not. So he says no with a bow, obviously no with the gun. I have taken headshots on my 223 with Sierra soft points. Worked good. Dropped them like a sack of taters. That was within 100. I've seen people do. Longest one that I didn't see, but I know my buddy Travis boy Dylan had a whitetail buck as a little, like a spike buck. Dill, that was 225. Dill put it right in the brain bucket, man. Dropped that thing and didn't move an inch. So that was aggressive. 6'5" Creedmoor. What? Yeah, that's right. Dan Brown says, good evening. A little late from the Western Edge. Good evening, Dan. Dan, again, thank you for giving us my answer there on the shooting range yesterday when I was on the radio. Appreciate that. All right, moving on. Neck shots. Man, I love the neck shot. This guy says neck shots also leave little room for error, but under the right circumstance are considered to be ethical shot opportunities with a rifle. Never take that shot with a bow, though. It can lead to a wounded and unrecoverable deer. Probably with a bow. I mean, I'm not a big archery hunter. I've got a few with mine, but I don't know any guys who hunt archery a ton that do that. So he says no with a bow, yes with a gun. Seen I have done neck shots myself. I've seen them done many times. Neck shots seem to work. Everyone I ever seen worked freaking great. So with the right bullet, I don't know if I'd ballistic tip one in the neck, but a more solid, I mean, a soft point I would, or like a Barnes, or if you're hunting with a match bullet or something, by all means, I would do it then. Especially if you hit that artery in there, you really take care of it. 11C1P. Why does it take so long from when I post on YouTube to pop up on the video? Couldn't tell you that. Sometimes they come up quick, other times they don't. And a lot of times, some people on X, their comments don't come through, and other ones are. Wish I had an answer for you there, 11C1P. I mean, there definitely is a delay when any comments come through. So Brian says, Mama Joe is a savage neck shooter in our house. I love that. I love neck shots. I don't have a problem with neck shots at all. Like I said, especially with the right bullet. All right. Next one. I don't even know how you put this in here. Who the hell would do this? Gut shots, right? I'm going to kill this deer and get him right in the guts. So he says, I don't know why anyone would ever advocate taking a gut shot. Right, which is what I pretty much just said. But I've seen it done. Okay, well, I've seen it done too, not on freaking purpose. Don't aim for the paunch. It can take a deer 8 to 11 hours to die from a gut shot, and they may not leave much of a blood trail. Yeah, I mean, everybody I know avoids trying to do a gut shot. So obviously he says bow and gun. No. Yeah, gut shots. And that's what I said at the beginning. You can hit them with a 300 Win Mag and they're going to walk away from you on a freaking gut shot. So, yeah, gut shots, stay away from it. I mean, maybe if you got a 338 Lapua Mag or something, I don't know, you're in a 300 grainer through there, I still wouldn't do it. Don't do it. Let's see here. All right, next one. Straight on shots. Straight on shots are often taken by gun hunters. I personally prefer not to take this shot with a gun or a bow. I'd rather wait for a broadside or quartering shot opportunity. That said, for those hunting with a large caliber gun, it is a lethal shot, but there's a lot of room for error. Best to wait for a better opportunity. All right, so again, to me, he says no with a bow. Gun varies. Depends on your bullet. I mean, yeah, you got the breastbone, and if you got a hard, tough bullet, I would have no problem taking that. I mean, I've done it for sure. It worked. I mean, the heart's right behind you. You go in there and kill it within 200. I mean, you got deer's, 10-inch, and maybe not quite 10 inches. It's pretty close. I mean, if you can hit a freaking 10-inch gong relatively in the center and not clip the edge of it all the time, you're probably good. I mean, yeah, he's right. You can wait till they turn, do it. But if I got a deer looking at me at 200, 220, that's right where the bullet's going. All right, Josh, hang on, buddy. We're going to get to the old Texas heart shot here. I'm pretty sure he's got it in here. If he doesn't, we will talk about it. So quartering, let's see here. What does he got here? Quartering 2 shots. All right, so quartering at you. He says this is another iffy one. As long as you understand correct shot placement, it's an ethical shot opportunity with the gun. I'd advise against this with the bow, though. The shoulder presents too much of a problem for bow hunters to risk taking it. Yeah, so obviously he says no bow, yes gun. Again, at long range, I probably would not do that one. I say that until like a 175 muley walks out. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'd probably take the shot depending on the deer size. So, Dave Aha Nerve says, Josh, we know either you or me. We know that's your favorite, the old Texas heart shot. All right, straightaway shots. Here you go. Otherwise known as yes. This guy says no Texas heart shot here. Don't take this one. I don't care if you're using a gun, bow, cannon, or slingshot. This shot is completely irresponsible. So just don't do it. He's no the gun. All right, so I'm going to tell you, not like I'm Mr. Ethics, but I would not shoot a deer up the ass. I've seen it done a couple times. Both times, deer dropped over dead, and if it didn't die immediately, it was dead shortly thereafter. I've never seen it done where it didn't work. Now, if you try to hit it in the ass, and you hit a hole, and you clip off to one side and hit the rear end, yeah, you're not going to kill him there when you hit him in that rear quarter. But if you put it right up to shoot, it's going to go in. I mean, not with a 223 probably, but 270, 308. It was 308. I've seen it done with the 308. I think both times, or 2 times with the 308, and 1 time I remember 7mm mag or ultra mag or some damn thing. And then the guy told me bear hunted in Russia, and he did it with, I don't know, cannon he had, but he said it bear dropped and killed it right there. So I think actually a guy on his Bachmeyer show said that Texas heart shot, they did it on, if you do it on a turkey, it goes in, it gets him right in the heart like almost every time. So I don't know. I'll leave that up to you. I would not shoot something up the rear end. Not even a freaking coyote. I mean, if I'm shooting prairie dogs, I'll wait till they freaking turn. I don't like shooting up the rear end. So let me get to a few comments here. Eric says, shot my buck last year in the chest with a 180 grains Barnes TTSX out of my 300 rum. Perfect, right? And we're going to talk about some Barnes tipped. If you don't want a TTSX, it's a tipped. Barnes, it's a tip, not the hollow point. Josh is negative. He likes the backstraps. Eric Glauser, good evening, buddy. Just joining us. Thanks. 11C1P. Yeah, you ruined a lot of good meat that way. Like I said, the ones I seen, it didn't ruin meat. It shocked me. The bullet went in and kept going straight in and didn't ruin anything. And one of them was a running shot on a mule, white-tailed doe. A buddy of mine did years ago with a 308 AR, and I was like, I can't believe you even took that shot, dude. It was like 200 and some yards, but he got lucky, and then obviously some skills involved. So Eric says, if you can get right in the sphincter, it leads to the heart. Saw a guy do that on an elk and dropped it in his tracks. Yeah, see, there you go. Turkey with a bow in Texas goes straight to that. Maybe that's what he was talking about, Josh. I'm sure Josh listens to Scotty's show all the time like I do, so maybe that. Dave says, I've been on a few instances where that was the available option. I favor high, neck, or head. Miss isn't a bad option. Otherwise, yeah, if I shoot for the head and miss, okay, I don't want to blow a freaking jaw off or something. Austria Dead Wolf, let's go. We are going, brother. We are going right now. We love it. All right, so last one we were on, I'll tell you what time we got here. 8:25. We're gonna hit the first ad here. Clay's got all of our new ads loaded up here, so I'm gonna switch to these. He's got them just on the guns in the 701. So me and Blackbeard, Clay, he'll get them switched over for us. But let's just go with our main sponsor right here and come back, and then we're gonna hit on still on the 12 unethical shots according to this guy, bedded deer shots. Never had one. We'll be right back.
Located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. Lauer Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
All right, JD 701 Nation back here from the first break. Hey, Scott is the only radio show I listen to, says Austria Dead Wolf. Right on, Scott Bachmeyer. The guy's a legend. He's my Saturday morning tradition. Listen to Scotty's show. Great show all the time and great information on there. And don't forget, guys, if you're listening, hit that like button, please. It helps us break the algorithms. Like, love, whatever you're on. Checked over on X. We got 44 watching on there. Appreciate you, X. And Facebook, YouTube, wherever you're watching, Rumble, hit that like button, please. And again, support all of our sponsors. They're great. We picked up, looks like, hey, we got a ranch sponsoring us now. I love that too. Love that too. I mean, I know the rancher pretty good, but appreciate that. Appreciate that getting back on. You will see that coming up. So, anyways, let's continue on here. We got next one here, bedded shots. I've never done a bedded shot. I know a few people who have. I think pretty much they said it dropped them over right there where they were laying down. So this guy says, I'm not a fan of taking shots on bedded deer. The vital picture is different than on a standing deer, and parts of the heart and lung can be obscured. Still, some like bedded shots because the target isn't moving. I won't go so far as to call it unethical. Well, you did because it's in your article here of the 12 unethical shots. But practice up and educate yourself on deer anatomy before taking this shot angle. All right, so if I see one bedded, he says ethical with bow varies, gun varies. I'll just shoot it in the freaking neck. That's what I'll do when it's laying there. Okay, I take it back. I did shoot one in the neck once. It was a wounded mule deer, big son of a gun, biggest bodied one, and just like big, like straight mass, biggest one I ever shot. I'll get a picture of it before deer season up here. I've never showed him before. My friend Travis was with me, and I shot him. We got over there and he picked his head up and he was alive. I thought I had a good kill shot on him, but shot him in the neck with a what is SSTs and 6.5 Creedmoors, 129, like 60 yards offhand. He dropped over. He was dead almost instantly. So anyway, next one, skyline shots. Yeah. This is, he says, this is a shot you should never take. Always have a safe backdrop behind your target. It's Hunter Ed 101, and it doesn't matter what weapon you use. If the deer's on horizon with no solid ground behind it, don't take the shot. No and no on bow and gun. Yeah, I mean, even if I'm on our private property, I'd get a little uncomfortable with that one. I mean, yeah, if you're on private property and you get shot, that's your own ass for trespassing. But mm, mm, I don't know if I. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so there's certain parts on our property. If it was a skyline, I know that property. I grew up there like the freaking back of our hand. I say ours. It's my uncles now, my cousins, and my dad. Um, there's certain spots I would take it because if I know I was going to hit it, because you're going to hit it and slow that bullet down, I know it ain't going that far. So I wouldn't. Yeah, okay. I take a couple of. I like it. So let's hit the last one here. Stacked shots, and what he's talking about here is deer here, deer. You know, if you got a deer behind a deer, he says, and never take the shot when there are other deer behind the one that's in your sights. It's too easy for your bullet or arrow to pass through the intended target and strike another. Wait until all deer have cleared in the background before pulling the trigger. I mean, I've seen videos like down in the south or these states where you can get more than one deer tag, and they've dropped two of them. I think Scott actually, when he was pig hunting down in Texas, we're talking about Scott, put his arrow through a big pig and it stuck a little one, and he got two with one there. So he says this guy, ethical shot with a bow, no. Ethical shot with a gun, no. And I explain myself what I think, and I'll stick to that. I don't know. You know, I agree with most of the stuff the guy's saying there, but a pretty good article, I thought. A lot of good discussion on that one. Let's get to a few more comments here. Josh Patterson says, first deer I ever shot was bedded, shot, and her head dropped, lights out instantly. Yeah, right. I mean, like I said, if they're bedded, especially, I would say, I don't know, headshot when they're bedded if you're in range. I mean, that's, I think my buddy John got one like that once, a muley doe down 3F2. Eric says, is skyline shot acceptable if it's a liberal town on the other side? Just kidding, LOL. You know, Josh, I'll leave that up to the sportsman's discretion there on that one. Dave says completely safe with a Horton bullet, and he's got the laughing with tears. Yeah, emoji. Yeah, because I think Dave called it the Horton splash. You know, doesn't go through, blows up inside him. Yeah, ballistic tips and a deer, man. I mean, I've seen some little pieces come. The biggest exit wound I ever had, in fact, the highest pointed inch mule deer I shot, quartering away, it went all the way through him, but the one that came out was a tiny little hole, a Nosler 150 ballistic tip in the old Tri-08. 11C1P says, Eric Newman, it's required. Talking about Eric on the skyline there on the anti-American town on the other side. Dan says, the writer of the article is correct. North Dakota hunter unequivocally says no to the skyline shot. Yeah, and I remember when I started deer hunting again, we were down 3F2, and I had a 25-06, black Winchester ballistic silver tips, I think, 118 grain. Nice, way nicer whitetail buck than I ended up shooting on the top of the hill, and I didn't take the shot. And my buddy, the two buddies I were hunting with were just absolutely riding me for not taking this shot. That nothing was on the other side. And I mean, they claimed I was afraid that I wasn't going to hit it. That wasn't the case. We had a shooting contest at 300 shortly after, and I, not bragging, but I did kick their ass. You know, I just didn't think it was the right thing to do. I didn't know the country, and you know, not going to do it. I wouldn't recommend anybody doing it, but no, there you go. So that was it was a nice. I want to say probably a 140 whitetail. Oh, that's not very nice. Well, when I got back into hunting, 140 incher was way bigger than the one I shot. I can tell you that much. All right, so let's go on to the next one here. Next topic here, ladies and gents, we got we're do a little roundup here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lubricants and fire and gun oil here from, I got this out of Shooting Illustrated, NRA magazine. Proud NRA member right here. In fact, the NRA, I don't have the flyer here, but the NRA banquet's coming up in Mandan here. I want to say that's like the Friday, not of deer season, week before. So yeah, like November 1st or something like that. November, or maybe it can't be Halloween night. Maybe I'm wrong. I'll have to look it up, but I don't think I'm going to it anyways. I don't know. I think my boss has got a table. Clay and them guys might be getting a table. Our man Blackbeard might have to make a trip up. All right, let's hit this oil. I've been meaning to talk about this one for quite a while. We could have done a whole dang show on this, but you know, whether it's pumps, semi-autos, whatever, bolts, levers, whatever, they're, you know, metal's rubbing on metal somewhere. Yeah, modern firearms, they can probably function without less lube than the old ones. Maybe not. Maybe that's just me being naive. Don't put too much on. I mean, just a little bit of this oil goes a long way. I mean, I've ran, when I first started shooting ARs. Oh, you got to make AR sloppy wet, man. I get oil hitting in the face. Complete and utter freaking bullshit. Most guys who say shit like that, they over oil an AR. That's ridiculous. Even in cold weather, I think you might even need less, but your lube should be better. If you're familiar with the story of the Chosin Reservoir in the Korean War, the Marines took all the freaking lube off of their Garands because it got so damn cold that the lube back then froze up and the Garands were jamming, so they cleaned everything off and ran them dry. You know, but let's get into this. I'll get a few comments here, and then we'll hit this loop here. I mean, I love the comment. I love getting the comments here from you guys. Dave says the skyline shot, it is what it is. An uphill shot and the angle will definitely translate to 1,000-yard, 1 mile impact. It's just not worth it. Exactly, Dave. And with today's high BC bullets or if you know, God, I mean, that bullet's just going to fly. Even a 223 is going to go a hell of a long way there. So, and Dave would know his ballistics. He was the state 1,000-yard champ. So, I mean, he, you know, 11 C1P says, who's buying suits with the NRA money now? Won't ever see a dime from me again. Yeah, I'm telling you, they're under new leadership now, big time. Check them out again, 11 C1. NRA is back on track. Uncle Wayne and the boys are gone. It's a whole new organization, man. You can go on like Armed American Radio. Mark Walters has the guy head of the NRA on there now and again. They're back on track doing great things. They're part of the Bruin decision, actually putting money that's turned over all kinds of. So I know what you're saying. Check them back out again. Don't you know? Dave Brian says I took the plunge and went life NRA. There you go, Brian, my fellow MVE. Brian knows what's up. See, he knows bad guys are out of there. They got a whole bunch of new young blood and good guys who are on task there at the board of NRA directors now. So let's get it. Hate to correct you, JD, but I'm the runner-up this year. Drew Rutherford took it home this year. All right, Dave. Sorry, buddy. I was just getting jacked up because I know you got that guns in the 701 plate there for your yeah, for your big bipod. Second Amendment, 11 CUMP, Second Amendment Foundation and Firearms Policy Coalition is enough for me. Right on, man. Nothing wrong with those. I love both those organizations as well. Nothing wrong with those at all. So, all right, let's get into this lube here. Like I said, we got, what do I got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. Got the lube and a short description here. When we're done with this, I think we'll hit the big article, we'll hit the big advertisement. And then we got the new Barnes bullets I'm talking about and the happy ending chronicle. And then we'll just do a little bullshit. And after that, and it'll be probably about an hour and 20. And didn't go 20 like Rut Daniels. And and we'll shut her down. But for now, let's hit the oil. So number one here, like I said, got this from Shooting Illustrated. Ballistol CLP. If you're not familiar, CLP, clean lube protect. That's what CLP generally. Maybe some people got a little different terminology than I do, but Ballistol, they says he's got, like I said, just like the last one, he's got a little short description here. Perhaps the granddaddy of all gun oils and CLPs. The mineral oil based product is originally from Germany and dates to the early 1900s. I did not know that. It was designed not only to lubricate and protect metal, but it also works on wood and leather. The product was developed after the German Army requested an all-around gun oil and cleaner for its equipment. Ballistol's formula is non-toxic. Well, the old Krauts they were already on it back then, non-toxic and environmentally friendly. Not that I have anything against that. I mean, hey, man, if you can get something that's more friendly to the environment, by all means. Nowadays, customers can produce Ballistol in its original liquid form and aerosol sprays and impregnated wipes. So German ingenuity from the early 1900s, still going strong. 11 C1P says, I love Ballistol. Eric Newman, I stopped taking my AR out in cold weather. I snuck up on a yote last year and gun was froze. It was 25 below though. Yeah, Eric, there's oil on here I use. Never had a problem. Never. I've shot it in 30 below even. I've tried it. And Axe and I did a test and it wasn't 30 below, but it was like 11 below and a wind chill was, and it was like 38 below or something. But 11 C1P says, you can also use Ballistol on electronics. I use it on my remotes too. All right, man. See, the Germans had it. I mean, I'm about half Kraut, man. I don't have that kind of ingenuity. I wish I did. I wish I did. Anyway, the next one here, pardon me, I had a burp there. Next one here, Hoppies lubricating oil. Man, I've been probably the first. I think I remember using this stuff on my 10-pump BB guns when I was freaking 7th grade. But Hoppies is probably best known for its Hoppies 9 solvent. Yes, I got some in my garage to this day with its signature perfume-like aroma. Perfume-like, that's maybe pushing a little bit. The company also offers a traditional clear high viscosity lubricating oil. It's available in liquid form via squeeze or pump bottles and in aerosol spray cans as well. High volume customers can even purchase it by the gallon. All right, that's impressive. A gallon of Hoppies. I mean, shit, might just buy a gallon of this shit because it's cool, man. Having a gallon of gun oil, that sounds pretty badass. I like that. I've definitely I've switched over. I do still have bottles of lube, but I got spray cans of it. I like using aerosol cans for whatever reason. So Eric Glauser says, for cold weather, ARs or bullet guns and hunting nighttime coyotes, nothing beats REM oil or G96. Everything else is marketing bullshit. See, I REM oil. I'm saying spray can, aerosol can. Eric, that's what I use. And the new REM oil is reformulated. Actually, even they changed it a little bit to make it more, well, they claim, maybe it's the same shit like he says, marketing bullshit. They claim better in hot and cold weather. So 18 wheels, another 6 shooters. Hey guys, what's up, buddy? Glad you jumped on with us. Just talking a little gun oil and lube here. Next one here, this is the one I use mostly for my ARs, but after there's one on here, I might switch, and maybe some of you guys used it. I like the company, and first let's get into the Slip 2000. Use this years and years. I've used this, not only just my ARs, but my bolt guns. But Slip 2000 EWL, which stands for Extreme weapons lube is non-toxic. Yeah, baby, I'm safe for the environment. High round count synthetic firearms lubricant that's free of any petroleum distillates or PTFEs. Its viscosity works well across virtually all types and styles of firearms and functions in a wide variety of environmental temperatures. They claim minus 85 to 1250 degrees Fahrenheit. So I've never shot in minus 85 Fahrenheit or 1250. I've never even heated my gun up to 1250 for sure. Slip 2000 EWL stays in place even after heavy use and isn't displaced by water. Yeah, I mean, there's something to that. I would say that's not marketing. It does stick. It does stay in place pretty good. It works well in AR-15 platform pattern firearms that operate via direct gas impingement. Since the Slip 2000 EWL formula lifts and suspends carbon and lead particles, and I don't know if it lifts it. It also makes topical gun cleaning easier because all the user needs to do is wipe down the parts and pieces in question and reapply a fresh coat. Yeah, you can wipe it down if you got a nickel plated or chrome plated or the nitride bath. But yeah, the old AR things. You didn't just wipe shit off of those, man. That sandpaper ass surface on those things. God, I hated that shit. All right, let me get to a few more comments. Josh says, I like arms oil gun cleaner and protectant, and arms oil gun oil. Okay, never heard of that either, Josh. Eric says, my uncle told me to use Breakthrough HP Pro. It's supposed to be good from minus 65 to 500. All right. Dave says, hobo oil, only way to go. I'm not joking. All right, hobo oil, another one I never heard of. 11 C1 pieces. I like the Slip 2K carbon killer for my bolts. Yeah, I do have some of that stuff too. That works good. It does work badass on carbon. I do like that. I think my buddy Eric actually bought me some from the shotgun guy out here east of town, Sporting Clays. I think he was selling it. I still got probably half the container in there. AMS oil, not arms oil. All right, AMS oil. I've definitely heard of the AMS oil stuff. How about gravite? Gravite, Gravite. Haven't heard of that one shot, Cap. All right, so this is the one that might. I have heard some people use this stuff and they liked it. Lucas Extreme Gun Oil. I like Lucas Oil. Lucas, the guy owns the Colts. He's a Republican. I'm not a Colts fan. They got some players I like, but hey, anybody in the oil industry, I mean, most of those guys, I like them. I love oil. I love coal. You can come up with whatever you want to use in place of it, but we don't have nothing to take over yet. So, Lucas Extreme, in fact, anything around you pretty much is made out of oil. The plastic disc, your gun stock, my microphone. Yeah, this gun stock bag. I won that gun 2 years. In fact, October 22nd is coming up, which is Ruger 1022 day, and that's when I won that sucker. I got to change that camo. That camo is cringeworthy to me. I call it gay man camo. I'm not a fan. That thing, though, shoots freaking absolute buttholes with the irons. Anyway, Lucas Oil Extreme Duty Gun Oil is another modern lubricant like Slip 2000 EWL that's intended for hard-use firearms that are subject to intensive firing schedules. Unlike Slip 2000, Lucas took the opposite approach and used a blend of petroleum-based additives and components to formulate Extreme Duty Gun Oil. All right, so you guys are using petroleum. I might just switch just to, like I said, support the oil industry here in North Dakota and just tweak the shit out of leftists. In addition to lubricating parts, Lucas Extreme Duty Gun Oil is also compatible with firearms that are shot with suppressors. Okay, now you're talking to me. As its formula also helps remove extra blowback splash. Okay, that might be a gimmick. I tried something that said that, did not work at all, but I'm willing to give Lucas a shot here. This compound is designed to stay out of the shooter's face and eye protection. In addition to this, Lucas Extreme Duty Gun Oil is highly resistant to heat, so suppressor shooters can add a light coat to their silencer's baffles. It's a suppressor, not a silencer. I don't care what you call it. Baffle stacks to make later cleaning easier if the internal layout permits this. Okay. All right, so I am going to buy some of this stuff, man. I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to give the old Lucas gang a try here. So, all right, let me get to a few more comments here. 18 wheels, a dozen 6 shooters. I don't run lube at all in the wintertime. I load big bobcats in my life because AR didn't go off. Oh, he lost the biggest bobcat of his life because AR didn't go off. Yeah, I mean, I talked about this before. your AR, man, you run a nickel bolt carrier or chrome. I mean, I in the winter, I put just a light, I mean, just barely wipe it, and I'm good to go for the winter. You get that nickel or like even that nitride coating, it's black, but it's the viscosity on it's so high. I would definitely recommend a nickel. I don't think you'd ever have a problem again if you did that. I mean, there's maybe some made out of some other weird shit now that I don't know of, but I know the nickel plated ones are freaking cash money. Eric says, I have some Lucas gun oil. It's red and kind of messy. Okay. Man, I thought it'd be black. Like you're pumped around the. I'll give it a try, Eric. I'll see what you do. I mean, it's gonna be tough to beat my Slip 2000. One shot caps is what does the military use? And 11 C1P, who was in the military and put foot to ass for us. One shot cap, the military uses CLP. Not just what they call it. I don't know whatever brand it is, but I know I've heard guys say CLP. Guys were in the military, are in the military, National Guard guys. Yeah, CLP is what they say. Dave, haha, nerp. One of my favorite dry lubes would be Otis Dry Lube. Follow the instructions and it won't miss a beat. All right, sweet. I got some Otis gun cleaning shit. Love it. Otis stuff's always worked good for me. 11 C1 pieces. They make a blue Lucas gun oil too. All right, so when I go to the gun shop, wherever I go, we don't really have a gun shop sponsor anymore, unfortunately, but we're always looking. I'll check it out. And if not, I'll just, I'll go to Shields and buy the shit. Used to be break free in the military is what 11 C1 pieces. All right, so yeah, you can still buy the break free CLP. I think is it a yellow and black can if I remember. Dave says won't stay in your nice leather holster. Okay, all right, man. My holsters haven't been stained other than maybe from my sweaty. I mean, my love handles aren't huge, but I do have some. But yeah, maybe from the sweat on them. All right, one last one. Definitely heard of this gun company. Didn't know they made this. So Wilson Combat Ultima Lube 2. So maybe there's a 1 that I don't know about. Another modern lubricant manufactured with synthetic and petroleum derivatives. While the Wilson Combat Ultimate Lube 2 performs the functions expected of any modern firearm lubricant, its formulation is highly viscous and particularly benefits firearms that are manufactured to extremely tight tolerances. Its viscosity can deeply penetrate and get into tight and hard to reach nooks and crannies. Now, I don't remember if Wilson's making bolt guns, but Wilson Combat makes, when they're saying tight tolerances, their ARs, I mean, yeah, they tighten them up. That sucker's like a sewing machine. Wilson makes some good shit. Been around a few of them. Maybe somebody's had some that are a little sloppy. Not the ones I've seen. Not that I've been around a ton of them, but I mean, sounds good. I mean, you can make anything sound good in your stuff. But I'm gonna try some of this Lucas. I'm gonna check that out for sure. Sounds like some good shit I'd like. All right. Let's see. Eric Lauser says Copenhagen spit works in a jam. Yeah, it does. Copenhagen works for a lot of shit, man. No doubt about it. 11 C1 P says, I swear everyone and their uncle makes a gun cleaner, lube, etc. nowadays. Yeah, they do. And you know what? There's probably 4 companies that make most of the shit, really. It's like Eric said, it's probably Eric Lauser says, it's probably a gimmicky bullshit, So, all right. Let's see here. We're going to switch this over to, where are we at? 701 Nation, the design. We're going to go with our big ad, and we're going to come back and tell you guys and gals about Barnes. Barnes has some new bullets out. Barnes known for their all copper stuff, teamed up with Sierra Bullets. Sounds like they got something good here. I don't need any different bullets right now for my Creed. Like I said, not 77 grain on them SBRs work, and they get some good velocity out of my carbine. I might fill that muley doe tag if we'll see what happens. Anyway, I'm gonna quit blabbering here. We're gonna hit our main ad. Got the new one in here for Kalon's. We'll be right back, guys and gals. Barnes Bullets, Happy Ending Chronicle, and whatever other stuff we'll hit on. I'll get some more of you guys' comments. Hang tight. We'll be right back. JD 701 Nation.
LAUER Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. Lauer Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
When you want it done right,
Go where lemons go.
Kalon's Auto Service, owned and operated by Kalon and Misty Foss, lifelong locals with over 25 years experience. From modern rides to classic restorations, they can handle it all. Top quality work, fair price, and honest hometown values. Located just one block south of Highway 12 on 6th Avenue West in Lemmon. Kalon's Auto Service, serving you with all your auto repair needs.
For the best gun gear for every and any situation, Little Angry Man Arms LLC has you covered. Top-notch guns from top-name brands like Winchester, Glock, Sig Sauer, and Ruger to essential extras from Magpul's, Streamlight, Hollow, Sun Optics, and more. Little Angry Man Arms LLC have everything to make your shooting adventures a success. Visit littleangrymanarms.com today and gear up for your next big hunt, competition, or home defense. Don't miss out on our exclusive deals. Little Angry Man Arms LLC, based in Trail City, South Dakota, your ultimate hunting partner.
At Horton LaserCraft, we believe in the power of personalization. Whether it's a cherished memory, a special occasion, or a unique gift, our custom laser engraving brings your vision to life. Our expert craftsmen and state-of-the-art technology ensure every piece is a work of art. From personalized decor to one-of-a-kind keepsakes, Horton LaserCraft makes every moment unforgettable. Horton LaserCraft is owned and operated by a local veteran and his wife located near Thunderhawk, South Dakota. They provide custom laser products at a reasonable price, and their turnaround time is fast and efficient.
Custom board cutting, glassware, decanter sets, mugs, assorted stainless steel jewelry, assorted tags, decor, custom acrylic nightlights, and much, much more.
Call them up at 605-545-7535. Horton LaserCraft, where memories are engraved.
All right, welcome back. JD here, 701 Nation. Welcome back, everybody. Hey, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and if you're feeling generous, hit that subscribe button. Appreciate that like button. If you're really feeling super generous, share that baby. And tomorrow, like I said, about an hour after the show is over, I'll have all the links up there for the podcast. iHeart Radio, we like to go iHeart because that's where we go on as KFYR 550 every Friday. In fact, I filled in for Daryl East yesterday. Thanks, Daryl. I filled in, had a great time. Governor Armstrong came on for 20 minutes or so there and talked youth pheasant opener. He had last week was youth pheasant opener here in North Dakota. He had a big group of kids out there at his place hunting pheasants. Had a great time and talked to him and talked a bunch of gun stuff with James Osowski there in the studio. So yeah, appreciate that. And please support all of our sponsors, guys. Clay and I can't do this without it. I know we always got Lauer Auto, man. That's the that's the big eggplant for us. We're getting a few more though now. We got Kalon's is on board. He's a top-notch sponsor there. I don't know what you want to call him, gold. And the /H Ranch there, right by Morristown. You can figure out who that is. Appreciate that. And of course, I'm wearing my Little Angry Man Arms hat. Hey, Christmas is coming up, guys. Support some of our sponsors for that. Horton LaserCraft, man, they make some awesome stuff down there at Horton. Check out their Facebook page. And hey, not only getting yourself some good shit for Christmas, you're getting, you're helping out the boys here, local North Dakota boys. We ain't freaking Joe Rogan or any of these other big national dudes. And we don't aspire to that. When Clay and I started this, we said we wanted to keep. That's why 701's in the name, and we appreciate everybody in South Dakota and Minnesota and everywhere they're listening to. And we got people down in Florida and hey, everywhere. Anyway, enough of that crap. We can hit some of that stuff later. Let me get to some of these comments here. Dave Haha Nerp says, I had an AR-10 acting up on me during a mid-range match. I dipped the boat carrier group and mobile 520, smoked like a Lionel train set, LOL. I believe that. I do. And I mean, I know Dave's did that just, he was having trouble, but I know a lot of people say, I got a mixture of motor oil in this. Yeah, I don't know. I've seen people try that shit, but hey, when you need oil in an emergency, go for it. 11 CUNP. Maybe everyone that goes into a local gun shop should ask the salesman if they sponsor the channel. Yeah, they should. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I to be fair, I haven't went into, well, the reason I don't ask like Shields or Runnings or somewhere, a big place like that, I like the smaller places, because if I say something like, this person's a piece of shit and they can go kiss ass, I'd probably get a call from the manager at Shields saying, you can't say that when you're a sponsor. I don't get paid enough. I like to swear sometimes, man. And if something slips out on me, so be it. I don't want to have to look over my shoulder and worry about, could he make a bunch more money doing it? Yeah, for sure. And if somebody probably did run enough under my beak, I'd be like, all right, I won't swear if you're going to pay me that. But I ain't seen anything close to that yet. So yeah, I mean, if you go into a gun shop, ask them, hey, you guys should get on board with Guns in 701 or 701 Nation. Both of them, matter of fact. Anyway, 18 wheels, dozen 6-shooters, hit the like button with double exclamation point right on, my brother. Like Donald Trumpy's exclamation point. Hit that, baby. I love it. 11 CUMP. I was on the second one. I was the second one hit the like button on YouTube. Anyway, thank you, brother. I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot, because some people don't believe it. Trust me, it helps us out breaking the algorithms. And to be fair, I mean, hey, do I like it if it says 8 likes or if it says 50? I like it a lot better when it says 50. And so do people who come by, because they know people like the show, and hey, a lot of people like this. I'll watch it. 11 C1P. The military trained me to swear. I can't stop now. Yeah, I probably swear less now than I used to. And I call him Uncle Fred. He's my cousin. But when he heard me on the radio, he's like, yeah, I got 2 things I got to ask you. One of them, he's like, I didn't know you could do a whole hour without saying the F word. And I'm like, yeah, man, I'm like a politician. I can phony it up when I have to and not swear, right? Anyways, let's get into, all right, let me get Justin's comment here. Speaking of smaller places, is Mandan Sporting Goods closed or did they move? I went there and the building was empty. Yeah, they're on Main Street, Justin. They're not there anymore. If you know where, man, I used to have the address here for Brandon, but if you know where Runnings is on in the west end of Main Street, Mandan, it's pretty much one block up there and they're right on the corner. It's an old like office building, nice big building. I don't know if Brandon like square footage overall is anymore, but it seems more open in there and it's a lot nicer than his old place. So yeah, check him out. I mean, Brandon's not our sponsor no more, but good guy. Appreciate him having on. More than welcome to come back on at any point where we'd be happy to have him. So that small pause there was brought to you by Coors Light. So anyway, let's hit this. Barnes. So like I said, we think of Barnes ammunition, right? Lead bullets, lead ammunition. Barnes X, I'll read some of their stuff here. The Barnes X and its evolution, like the TSX and TTSX, like Eric said he was using there when he shot that big elk up the rear end and dropped it like a sack, are known for their all-copper construction, reliable X-shaped expansion characteristics, which deliver maximum penetration on big animals at long ranges. And I did forget, I got some Barnes in there, like some 30 cals. They do freaking, I don't know what gel they shot them into when they got them, but they do expand beautifully. Of course, Axe and I have had what I consider beautiful expansion of the lead core copper jacketed bullets. Yeah, they don't have that beautiful pedal like the all copper ones do, but they still do good. And Barnes has Barnes, and I can't, who's the other one now? So I was doing anyways, they got all copper. Anyway, I'm going to keep going here. But new for 2025, whitetail hunters should pay attention. Come on, man. We're going to be able to use this on mule deer hunters are freaking disrespected. I feel like I should talk to somebody and say, can you get like, just call it mule deer ammunition for everybody in the Midwest and freaking out west here? Cause everything's freaking Horton's got the American whitetail. Now these guys got their whitetail stuff here. Well, they call it the Harvest Collection, but then their thing here I'm reading, their PR thing, they call whitetail hunters should pay attention to the new ammunition being offered from Barnes that is geared less towards large-bodied, thick-skinned Western game and more towards deer-sized quarry. Okay, so they're kind of going nationwide here, but that's what I'm saying. We should have our own muley ammo here, man. I mean, I don't care if it's the same bullet. Just put a big mule deer on the cover and say this shit kills muleys like a fly swatter does big flies in your garage. Yes, there is a new Barnes on the block, and it's something totally different from the X line of bullets. Barnes' new Harvest Collection features lead core polymer tip bullets of a very well-known origin with the proven track record, the Sierra tipped Game King. Now, I shot Sierra soft point Game Kings. I want some of them 64 grain tip Game Kings, but every time I see they're in stock, they're snapped up for my 223. I want those things bad. They look badass. I love that. But they might be sold out, and I'll be going to them 77. We'll see how they work. This collaboration between Barnes and Sierra marks the first of its kind between the two brands. Yeah, because I think Barnes, all I've ever seen them use is their own bullets. And I think Barnes is in Utah. I can't remember. God, the other name of that company is just, they got the yellow cases. I can't remember the name of them bullets. But anyway, Sierra says, and I'm just reading like some of their PR. Sierra says its tip Game King is a boat tail bullet that's engineered with a hollow point for quick expansion, and it's fitted with a transparent green tip for ballistic uniformity and accuracy at hunting ranges. Whatever you consider that, they say what it is in here. I'm just teasing you a little bit. Inside the bullet, you'll find a special lead alloy for expansion at all ranges, surrounded by a tough copper jacket to enhance penetration. And Nosler does that too. I think in their ballistic tip, they say their core is like a lead, whatever alloy they mix it with. I don't know. Iron Man, they melted down some of Iron Man's clothes or something. Barnes Bullets marketing manager Dale Evans says, we're proud to be able to bring the Harvest Collection product to the consumer for 2025. The new lineup gives us the opportunity to bring hunters something completely new from Barnes brand. Yeah, because like I said, all I've ever used is copper, that to the best of my knowledge. By pairing with Sierra Tip Game King in our ammunition line, we want to be able to bring a premium product at a consumer-friendly price, which I'll say some prices here I looked up. A little high for me, but whatever. While also making this readily available across the country through both large and independent retailers. All right, so this guy continues on here a little bit more here. I'm done reading here for you guys. The Harvest Collection offers hunters incredible precision, which I don't doubt with the Hornet, or the not the Hornet. I'm sorry, Sierra. Sierra bullets are freaking money when it comes to incredible precision and stopping power through Barnes' renowned terminal performance and Sierra's legendary accuracy with optimized performance out to 400 yards. Yeah, I'm going to say you're going to go farther now with these bullets, and depending on your caliber, and loaded with temperature stable propellant. So that's nice. Deer hunting, it's nice. You don't got some powder where if you do got a 400-yard shot, and you're going to lose 100 feet per second, heavier bullet drops down. You don't hit it where you want. The Harvest Collection is the superior choice for a deer hunter. Thank you. Instead of saying just whitetail and other hunting thin skin game, hunters can expect match great accuracy combined with aggressive terminal performance, ensuring a successful hunt every time. You know what? Axe and I will test that match great accuracy out at some point. I'll promise you that. Or how do we know you guys can shoot? We can, but I'm not a pro shooter, but we can definitely shoot freaking small groups. You'll find Barnes' Harvest Collection. Here we go. Here comes the money shot. What calibers, JD? In 9 popular hunting calibers this fall. I'm just going to say 9 popular calibers, period. Number 1 right out of the box, my favorite, God's cartridge. 223 Remington, 243 Winchester, 6.5 Creed. Whoa, a close second to my favorite. 6.5 PRC, which is the governor's cartridge. Badass cartridge too, by the way. 270 Winchester, favorite a couple of my friends. 7mm Rem Mag. tough to beat that thing for dropping anything. 308 Winchester. I love that one too. 30-06 Springfield. Yeah, as I said before on here, I don't care how many wars that thing's won. I am not a fan of the 30-06, not because anything particular. I just do not like it. I don't like the recoil on it. I don't like anything about the 30-06 other than it does kill shit good. And a 300 Winchester Magnum. I also own 300 Win Mags. I'm out on those. They kick ass too, but they're not for me. So prices, I looked them up on Midway here. They say they range from I'm just going to round it up, $40 to $45. 223 to 69 grain was $40. 308. See, I don't like this. They went in the 165 with a 308. Maybe for man, maybe if you're, I don't know. To me, a 150 grain is the money grain for the 308. And I'm just saying for all around and for hunting, Dave will tell you he shoots 308. That 150 is not what you're looking for long range target shooting, competitive shooting. And a 7mm Rem Mag at 150. See, no, that one should be like the 7mm. I think that's like a 165 or a 160. I think that's $44. So some good ammo. Any of you guys use that stuff for deer season? Be more than happy to get some input from you guys. Axe and I'll we'll pick some up and try it for accuracy wise and probably shoot some gel, but we'll see how it goes here. So, all right, let me get to a few of these comments here. I'm gonna have to back up just a little bit here and let's see here. Okay. Since Sierra procured Barnes, they have been making some crossovers from Sierra to Barnes. Yellow box burger. There you go, Dave. Thank you, buddy. Exactly, that burger. And my dad's killed with Barnes and burger. He's dropped big mule deer with neck shots for many years now. So yeah, I definitely go with that. All right, let's see here. I'm going down on the right here. I know I'm missing one. What does I'm looking for this one here from CLP. Gotta back up, go down. Oh, I gotta go down further. That's what I'm doing wrong here. That's makes for some good podcasting here when I'm looking for shit and can't find it. You just poured Bud Light into that can, didn't you? I did. There's no way. I hated Bud Light when I was 21, and I hate it now for more than one reason. So Justin Latinsky. All right, now I'm catching up to where I should be. I apologize for the bobbling around there, guys and gals. P. Diddy knows a lot about lube. Just saying, Eric Glauser. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Speaking of smaller places, okay, I got that one from Justin. I apologize. Eric Newman says, I only trust Barnes bullets for my big game. They proved themselves to me. All right, perfect. Right, when something's working good, I mean, you want to try something on ballistic gel or something, but man, if something's working, and I mean working good for you, no point in switching up on something. How about the Dakota Dick Kicker round for our own ammunition? I don't know what the Dakota Dick Kicker round is. 11C1P, clue me in. Oh, he's saying that's what we should name it, the Dakota Dick Kicker. All right, I'm good with that. Hey, perfect. I mean, people from North Dakota would love that. Even just, call it Dakota, because then we can get South Dakota people in there too. I love the 605. Read that one about Dave and Sierra and the yellow boxes burger. They aren't all copper, though. I mean, they do make all copper ones. They make some lead core ones too, though, which Barnes is too, like the Barnes match burners and shit. And I think the Barnes varmint grenades, I think those are copper or lead core. I don't know where burgers are made, though. I know Barnes, I'm pretty sure, is Utah. Spear bullet is a yellow case. Right. Spear is in yellow, but Barnes are in the yellow ones, too. Yep. Yellow box, right? You thinking of Spear? Yeah. Dan said that. And we have all day, Doug said. Yes, we do. Dave Feddick says, I use a 155 Sierra for 3 years out to 1,000, even at the mile at 2A day, but the 185 and 215s are the ticket. Yeah, see, when I was shooting, I was shooting competition, but I mean, I had some 155 Nosslers and Sierras. I actually thought in the particular gun I thought the Nosslers were a little more accurate, but I could be all full of shit on that too. I didn't shoot I shot a few groups, and they both of them kind of bug holed. One was a little smaller, and then I just shot him out steel at 600, and I thought it was pretty cool shooting pop cans at that range. But is 11 C1P, isn't Berger in one of the Scandinavia somewhere? Could be. Dave or Dan, you guys got any info? Eric, where that one? I never knew where Berger was from. That could very well be where they are. Like I said, everybody I've seen shoot them works good. Super pointy bullets. They must have like big IBCs on them and something like that. So, all right, tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna get to the happy ending, and after the happy ending, we're gonna do one more for the big purple eggplant, and then we're gonna do a little BS, and then it's gonna be about time to cash in here, gang. So let's take this. Artur, Alabama. A woman fatally shot a man with a long history of criminal convictions after he reportedly broke into her home late Sunday night. Authorities say the woman is cooperating with police and is not facing charges as the investigation continues, which is a good thing when you hear me read this. The incident occurred on the 1200 block of 22nd Avenue Southwest. According to scanner traffic from the night of the incident, a burglary in progress was reported, with the caller whispering about the intruder while a man could be heard screaming in the background. Yeah, sounds like a great situation, right? Moments later, dispatchers relayed that the woman had shot the piece of shit in the chest. He was described as unconscious and not wasting fresh air anymore. Perfect. Responding officers arrived to find 46-year-old Narado Brinkley, currently at that time assuming room temperature. Morgan County Coroner Jeff Chun later confirmed his identity. Here we go. This is classic here. Brinkley had an extensive criminal record because of piece of shit liberal judges and prosecutors who refused to convict criminals for the pieces of trash they are. That included, I added a little in there, that included convictions of drug offenses, weapons violations, and burglary, according to public records reviewed by Fox 54. And that's what they know of. I guarantee this piece of shit was doing all kinds of crap and stealing shit, other people's shit. You don't want to get shot, don't break into people's house. You don't want to get shot, don't tell somebody you're going to beat them to the end of your life and you and your buddies start putting the boots to them. You don't want to get shot, don't steal somebody's car. I mean, these people have no common sense. So, I mean, even if they don't vote, I guarantee they're Democrats. Yeah, Joe Biden was great, man. He wouldn't put me in jail for stealing shit. The woman's identity has not been released. No injuries to the homeowner reported, and she is said to be fully cooperating with investigators. And like I said at the front, she's cooperating with them. She's facing no charges. As I'm sure if I'd have looked it up, wouldn't have. I got that out of usacarry.com. Great website. A lot of good pro-Second Amendment self-defense stuff you get out of there. Love it. Love it. Happy ending. Well, I said a happy ending chronicle, JD, because happy ending was the female who lived in the house wasn't hurting. The piece of shit who broke in isn't going to do any more breaking in or stealing or raping or weapons offenses or nothing, because she did society a favor. That's right. He's probably, for all I know, a goddamn Antifa member too. Anyway, all right, let me get to a few more of these comments. To my knowledge, though. Oh, okay. Eric says burgers in Arizona. Who said that? Burgers in Arizona. Let me go up here. Okay. 18 wheels and dozen 6-shooters. Burger is in Arizona. Eric Newman, I thought Burger was in Montana. To my knowledge, Burger don't make a mono bullet. Okay, I thought they did. Like I said, I just threw that. I thought they were. I could be totally wrong. 18 wheels. Burger is in Mesa, Arizona. Nosler's in Oregon. Yeah, I know Nosler's out in Oregon. Yep. I must be thinking Lapua. Yeah, I think Lapua is a Scandinavian 11C1P. Yep, Google said Burger was in Arizona. What bullet is made in Montana? Man, there's a couple of them out there, I think, actually. HSM is in Montana. Yeah, HSM, their ammo company, but I don't know if HSM makes their own bullets, Luke. Maybe, maybe not. I've shot HSM ammo, which I will say has worked freaking great for me for sure. All right, so Friday, Clayton's, I think Todd Mitchell hasn't been on. Todd had some medical stuff too there. I think his intestine was twisted or something. The poor guy. Feel bad. Todd's a great guy. Feel bad when shit like that happens to good people. But I think he's coming back tomorrow. And I think Clay's going to be on with him Friday. And then Friday night, our man Blackbeard's going to be on all of Guns in the 701's outlets. 6 p.m. Central. Clay's going to be on with Todd at 8:15 Central Time. And next Wednesday, I'll be back on again, episode 34. Like I said, Ariel Dietrich from Shadow ID out in Watford City, female firearms instructor. She wanted to know how long to stay on, and I said, I'll tell you what, we can stay on as long as you want. We can talk about what you do. And she was former law enforcement officer, and we can talk. I said, if you want to hang around and talk some Second Amendment stuff or gun gear with me, you're more than welcome. If not, so if you're having fun, stick around. If not, hey, I'm glad you came on the show. So that'll be next Wednesday. Wednesday after that, when Clay's on, the 22nd, Guns in the 701 will be back. And then again, episode 35, and I'll be back on the 29th. Scott Bachmeyer will be joining me, and Game and Fish director Jeb Williams for the first 30 minutes of that show. And Scott and I can get pretty windy, so I mean that's going to be, I'm going to call that like the deer mixer show I got before deer season, a week and a half out. Time to watch Gutfeld, I guess, 11. Yeah, not a bad choice. Love me some Gutfeld. Thanks for tuning in, buddy. Appreciate you, man. So, yeah, other than that, hey, pheasant season's coming up this weekend. Statewide pheasant opener. That should be fun. Weather's going to suck ass where we're going, but we're only as fun as you make it, right? And hopefully we can get, you never know, we might end up crushing a lot of birds. We're going to have some fun regardless. Dave says, if you haven't tried Vitavore powders, it's worth that rabbit hole. I love it. I probably won't go back to anything else again. I never have, but Dave, there's a few people I know that have used them or have used Vitavore. They do say good things about it. Eric says hammer bullets is what it is in Montana. Yeah. Man, I can't think of the guy's name with the, not Jim Shockey, but the cowboy hat guy. He does a lot of shooting videos, older guy. Yeah, he's definitely a hammer bullets fan. I've looked him up on their website. Looks like some good shit if you're doing some reloading. So, all right, gang, I tell you what I'm going to do? Hang on 1 second here, guys. I should have done this earlier, but you know what? Hang tight with me. I got one ad. We're going to do one. We're going to do the big ad here, just one ad. Lauer Auto. We're going to come back. We'll finish up. You guys got any more comments? Get them in there. I'll hit them, and we'll finish her up. Appreciate everybody hanging on and watching tonight. It's awesome. Love it. We'll be right back.
Located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. Lauer Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
All right, JD 701Nation back just to close things out. Another great ad there from Lauer and Axe. I will be stopping in. I got that book of magic cards or whatever we can't say because we can't say the word on here tomorrow. And I put them in my vehicle, actually, so I remembered. I've stopped in there today. Axe wasn't in, but I forgot him anyways. But I just stopped in, packed some guns and shit with him just because he's a good dude. He says, after this, he will have a clean record. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what he's talking about. What's this one here? I bought, I missed that one back there a ways, actually. I apologize. 111C says, I bought a bunch of Vectin during the Rona, but haven't tried it out much. Not a ton of loading data I can find for it. That's definitely a foreign powder to me. He must have said maybe he meant Vita. Dave says, Vita has a decent reloading data list on their website. Otherwise, the non-brand books look like Lee have usable data. Yeah, Lee actually has some pretty decent data in there. Did Axe get a goat, Brian Waterman? So no, he did not, Brian. We saw quite a few of them actually, bucks and does, but the big one we saw was on some land some dudes from Colorado owned, and Johnson boys from Colorado was who it was. I remember that was a nice one, but he was on there in a nice green field with a bunch of does and a couple other dinkers with them. And hey, I will say this: some couple guys did. We stopped and talked to this rancher. I apologize, I can't remember his name. Real good guy. No, he said it was Vect in the powder. My bad. Real good dude. He actually told us if you got a tag, go ahead and pop him. He knew a bunch of guys from Golden Valley up there too, the Wanners and the Wolves and the Enzies and shit. So he was packing down his silage pile. So all right, guys and gals, appreciate everybody tuning in. Good show. Was out driving around again tonight. Doug said, I mean, the weather's just not cooperating for antelope. Like warm weather usually, and in the sun. I mean, they're like freaking prairie dogs. You go out in the morning antelope hunting them. In my mind, you're wasting your freaking time because they like to come out when it's warm. But we did see a bunch, Brian, and smaller ones. And Axe could have definitely shot one. And the last weekend, my guess is the old 257 Weatherby would have probably been a neck shot on one there. It wasn't a mounter, but Axe said if you get your goddamn antelope tag every 7 to 12 years or whatever it is anymore. So that last week of the season, time to not get picky and get you some freaking pronghorn meat. All right. Enough of that. I'll let everybody go. See you guys next Wednesday. Again, I'm having on Ariel Dietrich from Shadow ID, female firearms trainer. Should be a good show. Of course, we'll get in some gun talk as well. Check Clayton out Friday, 8:15 a.m. Mitchell in the morning on KFYR 5:50 a.m. and 6 p.m. Central that night. Blackbeard's going to come on with some Blackbeard logic. Hope everybody has a great weekend hunting some birds. You get some pictures, go ahead and send them to me if you feel like it. I'll be more than happy to post them on all of our social media outlets. So JD 701 Nation, use the 50 axe is what Dave says. We get one more in there. Yeah, just punch a hole with that 50, but that sucker's so heavy for them antelope, but it'd be cool either way, no doubt. All right, everybody, JD 701 Nation. We'll see you next Wednesday night. Have a great opening pheasant and be safe.